Hello, ho, 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 all that good stuff. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever you celebrate, happy. It's all coming. Happy holiday season. Really getting down to the end of the year. Can't believe it. Another year's over in my life. But right now, the Knicks aren't taking many minutes off of it, though. They're playing very well. So need to be happy about that. Let me bring the guys in because the Knicks had a game tonight. So let me get them in here. Ty, Joe, we're all here. Happy holidays, fellas. Merry Christmas. Whatever you.
Same to you. You show some love to the ho-hos. It's crazy.
Got to.
Everybody gets love. Everybody gets love. It's a crazy world out here.
You got to show love to everybody. Everybody needs a little love. This is the time of year you do that. You do that kind of thing. So, yes, Craig. Craig is watching us. We know he's a big Seinfeld fan, of course.
Yes, sir.
As well, airing of the grievances.
Feats of strength.
Yes. So that is also this season as well. But yeah, gentlemen, we got we were gonna come on after the game, but the Knicks are so far ahead right now. We could come on a little early and talk about it, right?
Yes, sir.
So good end to the trip. They ended this trip 3-2. I kind of wish they would have got that Utah game. Looking back now, that game kind of hurts a little more. But you know, they came out a little flat in that one and kind of killed them. They made a good push at one point, but they couldn't get that one. The Clippers game was just a mess.
Yeah.
They're destroying everybody.
Man, when that team is clicking, they are a tough team to beat. They have too much star power on that team, and you know, we're all worried. We're always saying, can it work with Harden? Well, he's starting to play well now, and they're starting to figure things out. And
they get a bunch of guys that could get their own shot.
Yep. And you have two really good defensive wings in George and Leonard, and now you have Harden there as well. I mean, they're going to be tough. I could definitely see them in the finals.
Yeah.
The West winning the West, I can see it. I can also see them losing in the first round because they're just a combustible bunch. So you just don't know. You know, it's kind of like, okay, which team we're going to get here. But let's focus on the Knicks. It's been this road trip has been, a lot of people were worried about December being a tough month.
Yeah.
I feel like so far they've navigated it pretty well. I feel like they've won most of the games they're supposed to win, except for that Utah one. That's the one you're kind of like, again, scratching your head what happened there. But I feel like they've done that for the most part and taking care of business against the teams they can beat. Still having problems getting that signature win, right? Maybe Phoenix. Maybe you want to say Phoenix was that. I don't know, depending how you view the Suns. But
Phoenix is losing to a lot of people. They lost to Portland last night.
And they lost to the Brooklyn Nets prior to losing to the Knicks. So it's kind of weird with that situation.
Yeah, there's a lot of weirdness going on in the league with Phoenix, also with what's going on Golden State. A lot of weird stuff going on with these teams that we thought would be, would be challenging in the West. We don't know now. We don't know how it's going to go. Maybe it's a new day. Maybe we're finally getting the end of the Golden State run and the older guys being phased out and the new guys coming to take their place. One guy just came back last night, as we know, Ja Morant. We know what a talent he is. We know how great he could play. He proved it last night, man. Hitting a game-winning shot in your first game back off suspension. Man, that's
theatrics.
Man, he is really good. He just needs to get his off the court stuff taken care of. Once he does that, man, I see only good things for him in his future if he can just stay out of the.
He needs to delete his young NBA track list on his I don't know what these kids use iPods now or whatever. So whatever. He needs to delete all his music, his entire catalog. He might be better off doing that.
That team's got Marcus Smart coming back too, I think.
They should be tough. They should be a tough out.
Yeah, I think maybe John needs to put the rap away for a little while. Maybe switch up to some R&B You know,
Yeah.
so it's a little more mellow for
Mellow yourself out.
him, right?
He needs to hook up with me. I'll teach him how to make pizza.
Yeah.
No, we all need
he needs
that.
to love
We
it.
all need that.
It's a civilized pastime. No guns involved. Just
Yeah.
water, flour, salt, yeast.
Yeah, these kids need
All right, so
No firearms.
before we get into the game and stuff and what's going on with the game, with the game with the Knicks, it is Christmas season. So, and either of you guys have any special traditions you do for Christmas that that is unusual, or you just the normal we cook Christmas? Well, first of all, do you celebrate Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, or both?
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm.
Ty.
For me, Christmas Day is usually always is.
Christmas Day. All right. And yeah, any interesting things, like any interesting traditions you guys do that are out of the ordinary?
Man, I can't stand Christmas.
Yeah, I'm not. See, maybe this is why we get along, Joe. I'm not this big. This it came up so quick this year for me, and then I don't know. I'm just not. I'm not trying to be like the Grinch or nothing. I'm not gonna turn green and start stealing people's gifts, but I'm just saying, I don't know. I've always been a Thanksgiving person, so.
Me too.
To me, I'm probably the only person who's going to say this. I'm going to say this live. Christmas music is creepy to me. I've never liked it. I never like being in the store listening to it. I'm just not that dude. I've never liked it. It's just something. I'm in the store and I'm looking at gifts and I'm like, oh, I got to get the hell out of here. I can't listen to that music. It's just.
Wait a minute. Why is it creepy?
It just drives me nuts to hear it.
Well, that's different.
That's some Nat King Cole and Ella Fitzgerald Christmas music on vinyl. That's really nice.
Maybe that's why. This one that I admit, what was it? I think it was a Temptation song that I kind of like. But I'm trying to tell you, I get like this whole. I don't know. I'm triggered from. I'm not good with that. And then the crowds, and I'm like, get me the hell. I don't even wrap gifts. Anybody who gets you're getting into the damn box, and they better thank God that actually Dollar Tree has the bags I can stuff everything into it. I am just not that dude.
I'm with you on the bags. I'm all about getting gift bags. I hate wrapping presents, so I'm definitely more of a gift bag guy. An easier way for me to do something, I'm going to find it. When they started with those gift bags, thank Jesus, because, man, I was so happy. I cannot wrap gifts to save my life, and I hate doing it.
Man, every single person I know except for my wife gets a gift card. Every single person. I mail out a bunch of cards, gift cards. I can't get away with it with my wife, but Christmas is a hassle, man.
Yeah, I'm kind of I don't like it as much as I used to. I'll say that. I definitely like Thanksgiving more, and Halloween's probably my favorite holiday for reasons you guys probably understand. But then anyone who knows me probably gets why I like Halloween more than any other holiday.
Yeah.
But that's the holiday that I like more than it. Christmas, you're right. It's become very commercial.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hustle and bustle going on. Everyone is running around, and I like the cooking part and that stuff. I love all the food that we have this time of year because of course I'm a fat ass. So fat ass is like food. So yeah, so of course, I love all that stuff, but I'm with you guys on the actual commotion surrounding the holiday. I like some Christmas music. The older songs I'm kind of over at this point in my life. I'm like, whenever I hear something new, I try and give it a shot because I want to, some new music, something new to listen to. But yeah, I agree with you guys there. So.
I have a bad confession that's even in mid-year. This is telling you, anybody knows me, they hopefully think I'm a nice person. However, there was some woman who was pulling out, she was driving a car, and it was pretty bad how she was driving. And I've said out loud, this is why Grandma got ran over by a reindeer. See, this is what happened. So this is letting you know what mood I am in when it comes to this time of season. I said, this is why Grandma got ran over. Now, everybody knows I love the grandma. I love the old people, but I'm just saying, this is how I correlate Christmas. I was like, this is why she got ran over. So,
all right, Eric, I got to tell you, everyone's a fat ass during holiday season. I was complaining to Ty at the beginning of the last thing. I was like, I am living fat, man. Everything that's not nailed down. I have no conscience. conscience. Just it's all fair game, man.
Well, my holiday season begins when the football season begins. So it's been holiday season for me since September. I've been eating since September. So yeah, man.
Yeah,
It's been a rough few months, but here I am. So it's coming down to the end. Down to the end.
Quickly.
So all right, so let's get in it. The game is finally over. The Knicks defeated the Nets 121-102. Complete performance. At no point tonight did I ever think they weren't going to win the game. They played a very complete game from start to finish. So I was very impressed with the performance especially coming back from that road trip. You know, sometimes you come back, you let down a little bit. Just being back. They're not home per se, but they are because they're back in New York. Obviously, they're not staying in hotels; they're staying in their normal wherever they live. So, that stuff is all common to them. So they had that to look forward to. Sometimes he let up a little bit, but they didn't. Randle, another really, really good performance. We're going to get into him a little bit more in a couple of minutes because he's been playing just really fantastic basketball. But we'll get into that. We'll break it down a little bit more in a couple of minutes. But Randle had 26 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Brunson with 16 points, 7 rebounds, 8 assists. Dante DiVincenzo was the guy tonight, though.
Yeah.
He was 5 of 10 from 3-point range, 23 points, 8 rebounds, which was a surprise for me. He was really attacking the boards tonight, getting up there. RJ Barrett, 14 points, 5 of 11 shooting. Good game for him. I've noticed his attempts have gone down, though, as Randle's attempts have gone up. So we'll see how that plays out as the season progresses. But I feel like he's playing well there, and I think he's defending really well right now. I think he's playing really good defense. So maybe a little bit of shift of priorities. But quickly again, the two guys we're actually going to talk about a little later are the two guys who had the biggest performances tonight, in Quickley and Randle. So what did you guys think of the game? Anything surprise you, either of you, about tonight?
I thought it was interesting seeing them win with offense and flow and playing small. Again, they're going to have to win this way. They have so much of their identity tied up in Mitch and that kind of look for the team that it's kind of interesting. It's kind of interesting to see him play this way. When Randle's playing well, when Brunson's playing well, you have two people that can flat out score, and you have a good supporting cast that can contribute. They can score with people. So I don't think that they necessarily have to replicate the Mitch model with lesser players. I think they're more effective kind of like this than trying to turn Taj Gibson into Mitch. So it's interesting. I think that some good could come out of it. I really think they really should try to play Randle at the 5 and work around that. But if they play Randle at the 5 and it works, it might someone look really bad that he didn't do that whole thing earlier. Maybe that whole thing would have worked out better than it did. But I don't know. I think maybe he won't actually roll out that lineup just in case that blows up in his face. But no, it was good to see. They did better in this road trip than I thought they were going to do. There were some, Randle's been playing incredible. I mean, this is the version of him that we've always wanted to see. So it's exciting. We have, again, a tough schedule coming up too. We have some tough teams coming up. We have back-to-backs with Milwaukee, OKC, who is not a mediocre team anymore, and Orlando coming up too, Orlando's playing good basketball too. So I'll be interested to see how they approach the next couple of weeks. But it's always nice walking into a team in your division and just kind of, laying the beat down on them.
Especially when it's Brooklyn. Yeah. I'm with you. Ty, we were talking during the game, and you brought up something specifically about Hartenstein. And Mitch being absent and him playing now, him starting and getting more minutes. You brought up an interesting point, so I'm gonna let you elaborate a little bit on what we were talking about off air.
Yeah, I'm a Mitch fan. I've never not been a Mitch fan. I like, watching him evolve in New York, being a second round pick. He was an absolute steal in that draft. Should have been a lottery pick.
Yeah.
You won't get me saying much bad about Mitch. But, I can't help but notice, even when we first got Hartenstein, I always said, well, I think he's going to steal a lot of Mitch's minutes towards the end of games because of what he can offer. His game is way more versatile. He offers a little bit more offense, clearly, but it's just the passing. It's the IQ. It's the ability to do much more. And he's also a decent, rim protector. And he's also very tenacious on the board. So, the first year was kind of like a little bit of a dud because we watched him. We didn't realize he was injured. So we didn't really get to see him fully blossom into what we were told he could become. So what we're seeing now is that now that Mitch is out, we're seeing Isaiah Hartenstein. We saw a little bit towards the middle to the end of last season. And now this season, being that Mitch is going to be out for an extended amount of time, even Thibodeau has said that he hates that he can't give him more minutes because if not for how well Mitch is playing, Hartenstein would get all of his minutes also. He would get the same or equal or more. So now that Mitch is not here, we're seeing exactly what Thibodeau was, prophesizing. Hartenstein's a bad dude, so we're not getting like a slouch in the middle. He actually, because of his skill set and what we lack so much of, which is the fluidity on offense, but also the ability to get easy buckets. This guy's outlet passes are much like how we see with Kevin Love, how he was utilized. So we're seeing, or how he utilizes the passing. He still is being utilized. I shouldn't say how he was. But we saw the outlet passes, the quick passes. We're seeing the guy move and get to the right spot. You see way more versatility in his game. And I think the guys who were probably not moving before, when Mitch is in there, because it's not going anywhere, he's not going to even get touches, to be honest. You're not feeding it into the post and saying, Mitch, do something. He mostly is a product off of garbage play, to be honest. So what we're seeing is a skilled five right now. A guy who's not going to take a lot of shots from the rest of the team, but is capable of doing so much more than just waiting for a rebound and clogging up space. So, when looking at this, it's not a knock against Mitch. I said Mitch could be on the bench and Hartenstein could start for all I care because, you can always sub in defense. That's why I always tell people, he's like, oh, the guy's starting, he doesn't play defense. You can always sub in a defender. But we're in a league of scoring points and needing great spacing and easy buckets. And I know they'll say, oh, the Knicks are running up. Knicks are great at scoring right now. Yeah, until somebody plays real good defense against us. Then we see it all clunky and junky and it doesn't look great. And they can starve out in the middle of a game and not score any points. But you're not afforded the ability to play 4-on-5 right now when you are playing with Hartenstein in that lineup. And we're seeing Julius even leaking out and cherry picking on the other ends and getting dunks and layups. He's running out, which is something we had not been seeing before. But he's leaking out, similar to the guy that everybody wanted to stay in New York for a little bit. He's leaking out and getting the layups or the dunks, as we saw in LA. We saw it tonight, even in Brooklyn. So, Mitch, as great as he is, there's just certain things that he's just not really good at, and we know it, and it can be glaring. And what we're seeing is Hartenstein now come out with that type of game that we're like, man, if Mitch would just do this, well, you don't got to worry about it because this guy is doing just that. We might lose a little bit, obviously, on the defensive end, but it also makes those guys on the perimeter have to be accountable as well. Everybody's got to pick up the slack. I think it was way too much Mitch-oriented where you're like, oh, well, Mitch is there, so we don't have to play as hard on the defensive end. So these guys are not protecting the perimeter as great as they should. But when you see Hartenstein out there, he just offers a lot more versatility. The game seems to just flow a lot better, and you're not losing a ton. It's not like you got a sieve out there like he's not going to defend or not rebound. And in fact, we saw in LA against one of the better dudes, if you want to say Anthony Davis, who's a block king, a rebound guy. When he's engaged, he's very good. And you saw Hartenstein just null and voided him. He got 17 rebounds. I mean, come on. Mitch, I've never seen Mitch really have as great as he's crowned. You don't see that great. He's a great offensive rebounder, but his rebound totals never resemble what you saw Hartenstein put up. Because you would think that if you're only out there, your main job is to rebound and block shots and play great defense, he should be 12, 14 rebounds a game. We don't see that from him. Whereas you see a guy like Hartenstein aggressively pursue the ball, and he plays with an edge. He plays with a really nasty, sneaky edge. Like you think you're looking at him, and they're probably going, "Oh, he won't." Yeah, he'll elbow you. You know, he wants to play that rugged kind of game. So I just think that not that he should replace Mitch, but I'm also saying if you don't miss a player when he's not here that much and you're still winning, same thing we saw with Nerlens Noel. I asked the same question. How needed is a player when you're not missing him as much as you think you do? You should be missing him if he's that much important to your team. And we've seen it with Nerlens Noel, and we're seeing it with Hartenstein now. And that's not to boot Mitch off the team. I'm just saying maybe we're seeing that Tom Thibodeau is overusing a talent and putting way more importance on him than he should, because this opens up. Hartenstein makes our team look modern. That's my biggest point. He looks like we look like a modern team now.
It's an interesting thing.
Yeah, he's definitely, like I said, when I said to you, he definitely facilitates on offense, right? Like he's an excellent passer. You can hit him in the high post. He'll find cutters. He's very good at the stuff. Craig put in the chat, Jokic East. I wouldn't go that far, but he has similar traits to what Jokic brings for Denver, and you see it when you're right. He finds guys cutting backdoor. I've seen him do it many times this year. Find cutters, like you said, for easy baskets. He definitely opens up the offense a little bit. And it's good to see. Like it's very, very it's a good to see like you can play that way. I always wanted him to try and play them together. I don't know how that would work, but I always wanted him to give it a shot to see if he could play. I think Hartenstein could play a little power forward, so if you could kind of put them in that kind of a setting to see what they could get. Of course, you'd probably have to have Randle playing like the pseudo small forward at that point to see how that would work. But which he can do because he can handle and play outside the perimeter. You could always, again, put Hartenstein in the high post and Randle back in the low, and you'd still be getting the same dynamic you have now.
Don't you think that'd be kind of a spacing nightmare?
Yeah, the length would probably be a bit of an issue with both those guys. But I would just like to see it. I'd like to see them try it to see how it would work. That's all. I like tinkering with stuff. Maybe in a blowout type game, you could try it. Like tonight would have been a good night. You could play them and see what happens. They were playing so well. But yeah, definitely that was something we talked about during the game, and it struck me again, and I wanted you to speak on it because I agree with you. I agree with you for the most part. I think he gives them a different look without losing too much. He makes them better offensively without losing too much defensively. I don't think he's the same defensive presence as Robinson. I think Robinson guys think twice before they drive on him. I think they still test hard a little bit.
Yeah.
But
tonight he got tested. He got Statue of Liberty by what's I can't think of his name, but
Dorian Finney-Smith.
Finney-Smith, he came down there and was like, let's go to the Statue of Liberty. So, but why I liken Hartenstein a little bit more too. Thibodeau used Joakim Noah, who was nowhere near to me as gifted offensively as Hartenstein probably can be if he gets enough open shots for three. And Noah had that high IQ though to be able to feed the post and find the cutters. So that kind of mixed with Hartenstein, he could easily be a role on his team.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons Phil thought he was going to be getting the triangle.
Yep.
That skill set.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's not think about Phil. Let's not. It's a painful memory. Again, it's Christmas time. It's holidays. I know you guys hate Christmas, but I kind of like to hang on to a little bit of hope.
Like you got hope.
Yeah. Why I gotta bring up old shit all the time? All right, so we touched on this earlier because it's just impossible not to with how well he's playing lately. And really, that's it. What I'm saying there, the efficiency we've seen from Julius Randle, and he's finally playing the way I wanted him to play. Thank God he's playing below the free throw line, attacking the basket, finishing, using his strength and quickness against bigger guys. Just been awesome to watch. Not chucking up 8 threes a game. I still can't believe he took 8 threes a game last year. Every time I hear that, I'm like, what the hell is wrong with him?
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's just been awesome to see. And it's funny because June 1 in our group, he actually said, wow, you guys are complimenting Randall. And I was like, well, we do. It's just, when he plays well, we compliment him. We are a little hard on him, but again, we're hard on him because he's supposed to be our star player, right? Star players get all the glory when you win, and they get all the crap when you lose. I mean, Patrick Ewing is a perfect example.
Perfect.
Knicks fans loved him when he won, but they couldn't when he didn't fulfill all his promises. They had all the daggers out and wanted him gone, right? So, and Ewing was a much better player than Randle is. So, it's really fun to see. It's been great to see both of you answer this question. Outside of the things I've mentioned, what else have you seen different from him in this run?
Okay. Me and Ty talked a little bit about this last week, and I talked about there being a paradigm shift with him. So I'm going to go back to last season, which by all counts was a good season for him. I mean, made the All-Star team again. Good season. But again, 8 threes a game. And this is somebody that put himself in competition for the three-point shooting contest at All-Star break.
Yeah.
So there's a lack of self-awareness there. There is really just a disconnect kind of with who you are, where your game is at, and kind of what you're focusing on. And you're seeing that change. And I posted an article in the fan page. And if you read some of the quotes in there, you see somebody that understands what their strengths are.
Yeah.
And is focusing and concentrating on those things and accentuating what he's good at while still keeping the three in his arsenal to keep people honest. But again, it's like you're dealing. I mean, the thing with Julius has always been the mentality. The where is his head at? What is he thinking? Kind of thing. And it seems like he is in a right place. It seems like he is grounded, and we're seeing the results on the court. I've always appreciated the guy for coming here. I think he's had to carry a lot since he's been here. He has performed well, especially considering what his contract is. But this is the best version of Randle that I've seen. And in the beginning of the season, I thought that it was going to be his best season. I had said that on the show, but
you did.
I don't know that I thought I was going to kind of see him play this way. I thought he was going to be a better version of last year, maybe a little bit smarter. But the efficiency, the way he's attacking the game, how he's mentally approaching the game, I didn't see this coming. So this is what I wanted for Christmas. I'm a happy boy. I might actually enjoy this Christmas. Ty, I'm with you. Thanksgiving's where it's at.
Yes, sir.
Just saying. But that's my take.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with her. I watched a little bit of the show last week when I was sick, but I caught you guys and I watched it, and I agree with you on everything you said. Ty, you and I have been talking about this guy forever. So and we both, when we got him, this is the version of him we thought we were going to get.
Absolutely.
Right. So how happy are you now? Because we've been hard on him. How happy are you now that we're seeing this version of him?
I'm damn excited because, I'm an old head, so it's like for me, you're 6'10" or 6'9", 6'10", you're looking like a linebacker. And you're in there with a bunch of pins right now. So you're supposed to be the bowling ball just coming through, knocking them the hell out the way and scoring the damn basket. This is what you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to do anything else. If he's doing anything else, he's complicating his job. And that's what, when we see the success that Randle had offensively, he got the accolades and the flowers, being the best player on the Knicks, because the Knicks sucked at that time. I'm not just keeping it real. He came here. He offered his talents. He was successful in displaying them on the Tibbs. So, it was a nice union. And when you're starving and somebody throws you a saltine cracker, that's the best damn saltine cracker you've ever had. So that's the same thing that was happening with Randle when becoming a Knicks. So you like, well, this guy can come in, he's scoring, he's all effort. We haven't had that in a while, so it's like an oasis. You're like sitting there going, well, we finally see water. We see, something beautiful. Yeah, but, with that success, where does it go after that? So you don't want to punish him early on because you're like, this is the best we've had in a long time. But was he playing his best basketball was the real question. He had offensive success, statistical success, league-wide adulation. So he had all those things. But was it a winning brand of basketball? And what we found out in the playoffs is it wasn't, that he could not handle that. So what he was doing and playing on the wing, it has never been his bread and butter. Eric and I talked about when he came here, we were thinking we're getting the low blocks bully dude from New Orleans who was just a terror. Like when that guy, he's like what Zion is now. When you think about Zion, people are like, well, he's just going to get to the paint and score at will. Well, Randle's the same one. Maybe not obviously nearly as athletic, but the strength and the boldness about his game. You can't stop that. And then, especially in this soft-ass league, I'm going to keep it a buck. This is not the tough league that we're in. So if you're a giant in this, and with these Lilliputians borrowed from Walt Frazier, you could eat all game. So what we're seeing now, I think there's a little bit of reality that happened with Randle too. When we talk about self-awareness, I think he's aware that he's the second best player on his team too. Maybe he wants to be that player too. And I think what he's seeing is that dude, that little dude, is a bad big dude. And maybe I need to be the bad big dude down with little dudes. Because that's where I can eat and actually, display my talents. I think he had a self-evaluation and said, this is not going to work. I don't want to be what Brunson is to this team, be in control of the whole offense and dictate the pace and do all these things. Maybe I want to be that workhorse. Maybe I want to be that guy in the paint. And what it has done is it's just, I don't want to call him dumb, but it dumbed down the game for him. Because what it said to him is like, you have one thing to do with that, that staple button that they sell, and it's the easy button, and you hit the easy, and this is his easy button. He's hit this button and is like, oh, I can score here whenever I feel like it. There's no nobody's coming from the blind side to double me here. Nobody's waiting for me. I'm not holding the ball as much. I can get and go, and nobody can stop me. And I think it's just that quicker that light bulb went on, and this dude's like, I need to be here the entire game. And what we've seen is the league has no answer for him down in the paint. The only answer could be if someone is lengthy enough to trouble his shot and he can't get it over them. But if he goes bull first, horns up into the paint, there's no guy I know who's willing to take those charges all game long, and they're going to get the hell out of his way. And we saw that with the Lakers. You got Anthony Davis and all these guys with length in there. They got defenders in there, and they were like, nah, that's all right, bro. You go make all the layups you want. I'm going to get the hell out the way. That's how LeBron has survived the whole time when you think about LeBron's tenure in the NBA.
It's true.
His greatest offense was everybody got the hell out the way. That was his greatest offense. He was a downhill driver, and nobody was going to take that damn charge. How many guys in the league want to take charge other than Jalen Brunson? I don't see many. They're saying, let me stand in the paint and take this hit. They're not going to do it with Julius Randle, who I think is even bigger and bulkier than LeBron, which is a little scary thing when you think about that notion. So for me, I'm ecstatic because this makes the Knicks a whole different team. When you think about how he can go into the paint easily and just get teams in foul trouble. And shout out to Giannis because he found that out. In that Milwaukee game, he had 3 to 4 fouls before we even got to the half. And he's a bad dude. And Randle wasn't bad. He's just a bull. Let him take those shots, man. I'm just happy. June 1, see, we do holler at Randle in a positive way. And what I did tell him, I told him he can come on the show and talk about it because I said we invite anybody to come over and want some smoke. But really what we've always complained about was not his skill. We never complained about his conditioning, him showing up. It's always been his mental state of what we've always complained about. So don't get it twisted if you're listening. We have no problem as long as he's using his damn brain when he went to the Wizard with Toto to get it. That's all we ask for.
Yeah, the only thing I'll still get on him for is those times where he's a little lackadaisical on defense. I'll
Absolutely.
still call that out because it does happen. He doesn't like to close out on shooters. That's very, very evident. Like if he's halfway there, he's not running out. He's just going to stay back and hoping. Oh my God, I laugh all the time when I see it because I'm like, he's not challenging that. Why? You said it, Ty. Like he's the.
What did I say? You want me to repeat what I said? I said he's not playing no more defense for the rest of his contract, so just forget about it. It's over.
Yeah.
He's not until his contract ends. If you expect to see Kawhi entered or Leonard or centered, you might see Leonard Skinner before you see him play defense.
Yeah.
For the rest of his contract, because that dude's just giving up on that.
It's true. It's true. It is one of the problems that I still see. But the other thing that him playing this way, the other thing it's done, it's decreased his turnovers.
Yeah.
Because he's not handling the ball as much. And when he does make a move and he does make a pass, he's doing it with a clear vision of where he's passing the ball. He's not waiting for the doubles to come anymore.
He's passing out of the doubles quicker.
Yes, he's making quicker decisions. It's exactly what I was
saying. They're not dribbling it into the ground.
Right. So these are all good things.
Mm-hmm.
I always say, like, I never think guys should use games to find themselves, but I feel like that's what he's been doing since he's been here. Like, okay, I'm gonna add the 3-point shot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try and be a point guard, a point forward. Like I feel like that's what he's been doing since he's been here. He's been using NBA basketball games to actually build his game. And sometimes it's worked and sometimes it hasn't. But I think you're right. I think he's finally realizing now, okay, this is Jalen's really the guy here, and I need to be the best version of myself because Jalen's an efficient player. So he probably sees it with him too, right? Like, he's an efficient guy. I should replicate that because I could play the same. It's been awesome to see. It's been a really, really cool thing for us to watch and see him revert back to the player in New Orleans that I remember seeing and saying to myself, wow, I'd like him to.
He's a better all-around player than that player that came here, though, and that player that was.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree. Yeah. He's a much better passer now. He is, even though I still some of the decisions sometimes I'm like, what the hell was that? But he's a much better passer than he was back then. He has added things. He's a 3-point shooter, like he said, is something he added to his game. So he has evolved as a player. Yes, definitely. Different guy. All right. So the other player who has been playing very, very well for the most of the season, he's had those stinker games where you're like, oh crap, what's he doing now? But for the most part, he's had a really good season. And it's Immanuel Quickley. But the shocking thing is his minutes have been less. Now, when the Knicks signed Dante, we all said there's going to be an issue with minutes at guard. Someone's going to have to suffer a little bit when it comes to minutes. I didn't think it would be him, though. I didn't think he would be the one playing the less minutes. Thibodeau clearly has a love-hate with Quickley, I think. Love-hate relationship with him. And for some reason, though, even when he's playing well, like I forget some of the games on this trip, we were saying, like, what the hell happened? Where'd Quickley go? Like, why is he not playing? Yeah. And he'd been playing well, too, those games. We're like, why is he not back in the game? We know Tibbs is very strict with his rotations, but I don't know, man. Part of coaching is feel, right? If there's something going on and the guys are playing well, and he's done it, but I don't understand why it seems like he won't do it with RJ, and now he's not doing it with Quickley. Those are the two guys I feel like he's like, yeah, they might be playing well, but we'll take them out anyway, because that's what the rotation says we need to do. He'll play Hart through the minutes. He'll play Brunson. He'll play.
What's Randle. The common denominator there?
They're young
players. Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only thing I could think of is that they're both young guys. But I mean, when Quickley is such a microwave Vinny Johnson, he's such a guy who could go off like that. When he has it going, you play him. I don't understand. Like, what's going on? I did not think coming off of a second place 6th man of the year finish, his minutes would go down, but they have. So, Ty, what do you think the reason for that is?
I hate to think that they're trying to devalue him so he doesn't have a value sometimes. I mean, because we know that the negotiation process is coming up. I think for me, and everybody knows I'm not getting a Quickley jersey anytime soon, so it's not like I'm like this big pom fan of his. But I'm also about an eye test person. When you see Josh Hart basically backing up the whole entire waste management truck, and he's dumping all the hottest garbage on the floor because you're not hitting your damn shots, you're not doing anything but complaining. You're getting texts, getting kicked out of games that are important where they need you, and just stinking up. I mean, the whole Pepe and the Pew is coming out of his game. And a guy like Quick, or as Craig called him, Nestle Quick is coming into the game, and he's a flamethrower. When a guy is hot on the floor, you just feed the animal and let him keep roaring. And what we've seen is that Tom Thibodeau has watched him come in and get lit in the game, 2 or 3 shots, 10-point lead, 10 points in micro minutes, and he's like, "Nah, I'm gonna pull him. Josh, go in the game." And I'm like, "Well, look, you can't when you can't trade in heat for cold when you're in a basketball game." So that's the one thing that I was just very curious as to why, when that kind of player has it going on, why is his minutes being limited? Or even when you see a guy like Grimes who's having an off game, then to me that means if Quickley's hot, he should eat up Grimes's minutes. When the guys are in lulls and somebody's got it going, you don't bench them, you don't pull them. He has the numbest feel for a coach I've ever seen. I feel like it's like, oh no, you're looking too successful. Let me ruin your career. Sit your ass down. And he's like, you're not gonna look productive here. It's like you're being productive, and we saw it with Obi. We see it now with Quickley. It's like, I don't know what the H on is. Y'all figure out that about pulling players that are hot to put in some name on the bench that has been terrible for 2 or 3 quarters, and you're not getting the same production out of them. For me, always, and you hear this language about Thibodeau. He will do anything to win. He doesn't care about who you are. But have you guys seen that guy? I want to know anybody see. I hear the narrative. You hear all the supporters and the ones that are pulling up the curtain and putting on the show for this guy, saying, "Oh, all he cares about is winning." The hell he does, because people who care about winning will use anybody and their mama to win those damn games and could care less what you feel about it later. In the locker room, did we get the W? He always says the only one that counts for him is wins. That's all he says. He doesn't care about the stats. He doesn't care about people's feelings. But you have to, because what would it ever explain that when guys are cooking, you pull them for a player that has just not had it going all game? So that's my biggest thing. I don't know if they're trying to devalue him in negotiations, but Quick is definitely, I must say this, if that was what they were trying to do, he's kind of made them regret that, because he's actually coming into the games and he's still bringing the same kind of heat. He's been very, we know he has those games where he comes and goes, but for the most part, he's handled it very well, and he's made the best of the minutes he's gotten. He must be making the best of it, because why am I campaigning for him? Because I'm not a fan of his like that. So it's like, play the guy who's got it going, I don't care who it is. Nobody's beyond being sad. This should be the Popovich rule for anybody. If my superstar sucks, you got to sit down. You just got to sit down and put somebody in. If your effort is lax, then you got to sit down. Bring in somebody who wants those minutes, who's going to give me max effort. And like I said, I don't know. It's just a very weird, Obi-ish kind of territory we're heading into, both with how he's being treated on the bench, and also this was also, what do you do with him when negotiations start? So we don't know. Is this tactical? I don't know. You got to wonder. Obi was devalued by the time he left. So, because he wasn't being utilized. And now we're seeing Immanuel Quickley runner-up player to sixth man of the year. That's the league. That's not Eastern Conference. This is the whole entire league thought he was one of the best players and should start. That's what sixth man means. You could start on any other team in the league. And the Knicks are finding a way of diminishing his minutes, and you don't do that unless you're devaluing him. Everybody knows who Dante is. Everybody knows who Josh Hart is. So we know who those guys are. They're not playing for contracts. Immanuel is. And I'm just saying, is this a strategy to say, hey, you really didn't do that much for us lately, Janet Jackson?
Well, do you Ty just brought it up. So, Joe, do you think it is a strategy? Do you think they're diminishing his value by not playing him as much?
I don't think they're that smart. Okay, so this is my take. And I don't mean to sound like the prophet of rage here and keep on talking about things that I, called, but in the beginning of the season, the minutes were something that I was I put heavy emphasis on.
Yep.
I don't think they want to re-sign Immanuel Quickley. I think they see him as a backup combo guard. And I don't think that they see him as a starting shooting guard. I know they definitely don't see him as a starting point guard. I think the coach feels he has his options set. I think he's ready to roll with Grimes. He's ready to roll with Dante at the shooting guard. He's got Brunson at the point. He's a big fan of McBride's. So you're dealing with the strength of the team right now, which is its depth. Mm-hmm. And we are fortunate. We have a very, very deep team. Now, that comes with its own set of problems, right? And that's touches and time, right? Mm-hmm. And looking at the team earlier on, I was worried about Fox Mulder. The truth is out there, Craig. The whole thing about who's going to get touches, who's going to be happy, who's not going to be happy, that kind of thing was really going to kind of come to light. I'm happy to see that Quickley has not been approaching the game like it's his contract year.
Yeah.
He has been playing, and I was worried about that. He has been playing team basketball, and he's been coming in and playing his role to the best of his abilities. But, again, I don't see him having a future in New York. I don't think they see him having a future in New York. So I don't think it's a negotiation tactic. I don't think they're going to pay $25 to $30 million a year for what someone they consider a backup combo guard. I think that they would be smart if you're going to talk strategy. They would be smart to showcase him, try to get the best they could out of a sign and trade out of him. Not wind up getting, nickels on the dollar like they did for Obi.
Pennies.
Now, being that we're talking about minutes and touches, going completely off topic here, the one thing that I keep on hearing that won't die is this Donovan Mitchell thing.
Oh,
so I want you to kind of visualize right now somebody coming in and absorbing 27 shots a game with this dynamic right now.
Mm-hmm.
And what that's going to look like. So, yeah, it doesn't make sense. You should ride the hot hand. I do not think that I agree with you, Ty. I don't think Tibbs' strong point has ever been feel and for the moment. So, I don't know. It doesn't make sense for me. I don't see him having a future in New York. I think they're waiting for the right deal to come around. It's something they may come to regret. They may one day come to regret if Obi blossoms. They're going to regret that. If they wind up letting IQ go and he prospers somewhere else, they're going to regret that too. That whole draft is going to kind of go down the tubes. So we'll see what's going to happen. I don't really understand what they're trying to do. I haven't understood a lot of things that the front office and the leadership has been trying to do. So we'll wait and see, man.
Yeah.
Will all be revealed in time.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, you speak a lot of truths in what you just said. I agree with you. I mean, we've talked about this in the past. We've said that we both have said we don't think he's going to be here. to me, you play a guy more when you're trying to trade him because you want to maximize his value. That's how it usually is in sports.
Yeah.
So I'm a little surprised at that. Wow, Craig's going crazy in the chat. But yeah, but it's a little bit surprising to me the lesser minutes. But I mean they're playing well, so I can't really I can't really say much more than that. He's a crazy kid, this guy. What's going on? He must be drinking.
That's all I can tell you.
He must be lit. Has to be. All right, so let's do this real quick. I didn't have this in the original topic, but since you brought up Donovan Mitchell, I heard a rumor today that the Cavs are also apparently shopping Jared Allen. So it leads you to believe that maybe they're thinking we're gonna move on from Mitchell and Allen and build around Garland and Mobley, which makes sense, right? I know. Like, why did you do this 2 years ago? But regardless, I digress. Let's just go with what we're seeing here. So, of course, I have heard, again, you talk about Mitchell, I have heard people throwing out all these different trade scenarios.
Yeah.
They want a package similar to what they gave up for him. That's what we're hearing. So, in my opinion, again, I wanted to draft him. I was a fan of his. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like, we beat you. We don't need you. Not for that package. I'm not giving up half my team for you when I don't think you're a superstar level player who could take a team to the next level. And I think we've all talked about that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But what do you see happening? Other places you think he might go, I guess. Is there anywhere else, any other team do you think is a Donovan Mitchell away from winning? You can't even say Philly now because Maxey is playing just as good. So what do we?
I think the rumor has been the one team that is probably the one team he could go to, and they would maybe consider that to be a better move for them. And that's Miami. We've heard them talk about it. They do need something other than Butler. You know, would Donovan Mitchell provide that? I think absolutely. You know, Jimmy probably would play a second role. He's not one of those stars that, I need 1,500 touches. He could be he could be a 2 and be pretty content with that. I think, you know, he'd be the closer. Then other than that, you're getting a guy who they do say that about down there.
I was just there, so I can't say I could confirm or I can confirm or deny any of it.
You're running to Will Smith, did you? And that might be very true. But yeah, you know, when I look at Mitchell's skill set, I mean, we know what the tail of the tape is. He's a fantastic scorer. I think the thing, Danny Ainge probably devalued him and was accurate at the same time when he said, I don't know if this guy's the guy, nor do I think he offers the type of leadership that you build your franchise around and make him the main cog. And I think that's something to be said because we've watched him come to Cleveland. I don't think Cleveland got better. I think Cleveland was better before he got here. And they weren't even in the playoffs, I think, at that time. So what is that telling you? I just think because we saw Cleveland building towards something good and special. You drafted Mobley, you had Garland. You know, you probably needed another young piece. You had Okoro, who's whatever. You know, probably maybe should have took Obi at that position if they were thinking right about it. But when you look at that kind of dynamic, they're not better off with Donovan Mitchell. You know, you were so good that you brought this guy in to get you over the edge or over the hump, and basically the Knicks stomped the yard with you in the first round. So, and let's keep it real. Did his heart seem in it when he was playing against the Knicks? I don't think so. He seemed like he was wanting to come home, and he was a little butthurt about not being in the Garden. You know, he's telling his teammates, wow, look at the noise here. You know, I mean, you don't come out, you know, and say these things. And he's glazing all over New York about, you know, I want to go home. Another article came out, I think, recently where he said, you know, his bags were packed. He was thinking he was going to build a home in New York finally. He's like, dude, you really didn't want to go to Cleveland with Joakim Noah. Like so. What are they sitting there as? They have to get rid of him. I just don't know who's going to buy the house when they know he's entering into free agency and believing that they can also re-sign him, because that's the key thing. You give up those assets, you're hoping that he re-signs with you. I think his heart is in New York, and I think he'll bolt any team that he goes to, or even right now to come to New York, whether for a larger money or a discount. Who knows? I think he wants to come home. I don't think he's needed here, but that does not mean that we don't see pictures of him playing with Allen Houston and having these golf outings with the entire Knicks staff in the offseason and on days when they're feeling blue and orange.
Another team that he could wind up with is OKC. OKC has the assets. Him and Shaw could work in the backcourt.
They have all the assets. It depends what happens with Giddey too. I mean, if that situation turns sour, they might want to move on
defensively
from him.
that could work in the backcourt.
So,
I mean, one of the things that you always worry about with Donovan Mitchell, especially coming to the Knicks, is having your whole backcourt being 6'1".
Yeah.
Nothing for nothing. You match up Shy on your shooting guard, and you have him defend the point guard, and that kind of balances that whole tall short thing out. But again, you potentially have the same situation with that you have with Cleveland right now, which is him putting up 27 shots and Mobley and Garland standing around watching him do it. So,
yeah, there's been also talk about the Nets being a place for him.
Yeah, what are they going to do? I mean, I don't think he makes them even better. I don't know Donovan Mitchell, because he's kind of a weird talent. I don't think that he's not a star talent.
He is a star.
I just don't know does he make you better? I can't say definitively yes that if you add this guy on your team, all of a sudden you're now. I mean, I know people are like, "Oh, you're total Nick Homer here." I don't know if he's better than Brunson. I wouldn't say it. Brunson's,
I feel like they're yeah, I agree with you. I feel like they're the same player. They just do it differently.
Yeah, and Brunson's burned him twice. That's what we say when Knick fans like, "Oh, bring him in." I know Greg wants a trade. He don't care. He's going to get somebody out of here. But he makes it. See, for me, I'm like, is he better than a talent we have currently on the Knicks? Because that's the difference maker we need in New York. We need someone who's better than Brunson. Because we know Julius is like, look, just get me out of the stadium and give me the popcorn. I'm just gonna sit. I'm gonna sit in the paint now. I don't want all this heat. I want to be the star of the movie. Give me a co-star and an extra. That's what he wants. So now your goal is to find someone either better than Brunson. You don't need equal, because now all of a sudden it becomes like whose team this is. You need a definitive talent that's either better or either a definitive player that's better than Julius Randle that can fit in and not be clumsy. I'm just saying, Brunson's beat him twice right now. Utah, he got embarrassed, and he got gentleman swept in Cleveland. Why is he coming on the next one?
I know. I mean, that's what I just said. I feel like they're the same player.
Yeah.
Mitchell is just a more dynamic player. He's a better athlete, a more dynamic scorer. He's more fun to watch. Yes, I will agree. So if that's your basis for building a team, then yes, I could see you wanting to add him. And he also does the one thing I say that we lack. Like I said, he's a dynamic, athletic player. We don't have a lot of athletes.
Yeah, we don't.
So, I mean, and with this coach, like Ty, we talk all the time, he doesn't want them. So what I mean, yeah, like he likes lunch pail players. That's just what he likes, and that's fine. Those are the guys who listen to him, the guys who play his style. That's fine, and I have no problem with that as long as he's the coach. But as Joe has said many times, he doesn't think Tibbs is going to be the coach too much longer. So you have to start thinking ahead too.
Yeah.
I just don't know who they can add in the league now as an athletic addition who isn't a superstar player, because they're not getting that guy.
They're not getting
right.
No.
So who can you? Yeah. So who can you add? I don't know. I don't know that guy's out there. The only way you add those players is through the draft.
So
And
I agree. I agree absolutely. So, Craig, to answer your question,
here he goes again.
so yes, Mitchell would make us better in a vacuum.
Yeah.
The only question is, what will it take to get him here? And what does the team look like afterwards? So you come up with the right package and the right deal and the right set of circumstances, sure, we'll figure it out. Add the talent. When all else fails, add the talent. But, what is it going to take realistically, and what's going to be left, and what is the team going to look like, and what are the possibilities to improve the team past that? Because there has to be a move that surrounds that. Adding Mitchell by itself, yes, is a plus move. You're absolutely right. It is. Anytime that you're adding that kind of talent, unless you're offsetting it with too much pain, you just solve the world of hunger.
That's his pick. That's his.
Picks. So how many picks?
Probably
You'd have to give all of them.
Yeah, it's going to be 4.
That's a non-starter because that's the last move you're going to make, and you're not winning a chip with that. So yes, it does make it better, but does it put us in an area where we can realistically compete for a championship? Because that's the only thing you're going to mortgage the future of all of those picks for. Because when you're talking about all the picks, you're talking about our ability to draft for years at a time, right?
Yeah.
So that's got to result in a championship, Craig. Not just simply to make the team better. And yes, him coming here will make the team better. So there has to be an acceptable trade.
Yeah.
He makes them better if they can keep the core guys that they have.
Everything they have.
Yes.
And
you keep RJ, you keep Brunson, you keep Randle, and you add him onto it. Yeah, that's scary, but I don't even think that's winning a championship.
I don't think so either.
No, you need to keep Mitch too because you need to anchor on defense.
He has to walk as a free agent. That's really the answer. I've always said he has to. He comes here as a free agent, then you're fine. I liken him to Melo. Not that he's Melo. I'm not saying that. I always felt like when the Knicks went all in on Melo, I don't think that they realized they needed a second move. Like they went in all on Melo, and Melo.
They tried.
Yeah, Melo's a great talent. It wasn't about his talent. It's about the kind of player you are. There are certain guys in the league that if you remove most of your talent off, they can still make up for that talent. Like it doesn't upset the balance of the team. Like LeBron, we know who these people are. A guy like Luka, guy like Jokic. They're just those players that you can put scrubs on a team, and they're getting you to the playoffs. They might get you to the second round because the talent is just
the Slovenian national team.
Yeah, exactly. But then you look at a guy like Donovan Mitchell. He needs help, and most of the guys in the NBA need help. So Donovan Mitchell is going to need. You're going to have to do another move because he's not going to fill in the gaps of say it cost you RJ. Say it cost you RJ.
I got to turn the chat off. It's killing me.
I'm laughing so much. You trade all you. It's gonna. I mean, I think it would start with an RJ and a Quickley. I think that's where you would start. That they're going to ask for, and then they're going to ask for all your picks.
They're going to ask for Grimes. They're going to ask for all. They're going to ask for everybody.
They're going to flip you. Your whole clip is getting emptied at that point. That's what I'm saying.
Because you know why too. This is the second time you're going through this. Second time you're trying to get this guy.
Yeah.
So they know what happened the first time because they got him.
Yeah.
So now they're just going to be like, well, we know what we gave up for him. We want something. That's what they said. We want something like that.
Yep. They're going to say this.
If they didn't give it before,
and you counter with you've just kind of squandered 2 years of a manageable contract, and we have to re-sign him, and he's 2 years older. So not the equivalent.
There's a lot of, to me, it's typical Knicks because they do this stuff. Like this is the stuff they get caught up in. They should never say and put out there, we're looking for another star. That was the first mistake. Like, why are you saying that? Everyone's looking for a star. Everyone is looking for that player. So you're not special. Like, stop it.
Stop
But
telling
so
me.
you're just telling people, but the more you say it and the more it's reported, the more desperate you sound. So teams
Yeah.
are just gonna keep on like, yo, we're just gonna sit back. You want this guy? Yeah, give us your whole bench and all your picks and everything. And sure, then we'll start there. And they have every right to do that. And I would do the same thing.
Yeah, who wouldn't? This,
So
this is like Walsh tipping his hand about, we're getting 2 max slots. And every team was like, screw you, New York. We're getting 2 too. And everybody got on the bandwagon of it. You gotta, I just don't think that there's always been a Nick tax to begin with, and I don't think that went down.
No.
I think it's
every GM in the league right now knows that there is the expectation on this front office to deliver a star.
exactly.
And the weight
That's
of
the other
that
thing.
and what the expectations of the New York fan base, especially for this team, how heavily that weighs.
All right, so just really quickly run down players that Craig that I know you wanted. Levine apparently is going to be a Laker. So sorry, hate to make you cry, but Levine is going to the Lakers. Apparently, it's all but done there.
Who are they trading for? Did they give the parameters? They're giving up Austin Reeves because that's what they said it would take. That's crazy if they do that.
I agree. I don't think they should.
The Lakers are stupid if they do that.
Is that for real? Is that something that's happening?
Apparently, it's the talks have been substantial enough to that some of the guys, the most trusted guys, are saying that it's pretty much going to happen. They just got to figure out the key parameters in Levine's health.
Lakers
Yeah, he's got to deal with that foot inflammation.
Lakers are stupid to be doing that.
So
they were that's crazy.
I mean, obviously, D'Angelo Russell will be in the deal. You'll probably have Rui Hachimura in the deal. I don't know, maybe Westbrook to make the money work. I have no idea. But
I mean, that would be the one, they're going to be in cap hell, like this tremendous cap hell with that contract, and even more so, it's like, why would you? That makes no sense. I mean, I don't think the Lakers are going to be good even with them. I don't think they're going anywhere. Unless you're in a bubble or on an in-season tournament. But I wouldn't want. I'm not being funny. I like Zach. I've always liked him, but I don't want him here.
I doubt that's Pelinka's idea.
Yeah.
DeRozan apparently also seems more likely to the Lakers than anywhere else.
He wants to come here.
Sorry, Craig.
There was reports that the Knicks, although DeRozan wants to come here. I hate to tell Craig's probably going to really get the bourbon out now. The talk, I think it was Katz who reported, I could be wrong, but I think it was Katz who reported that the Knicks are not as interested in a DeRozan as much as DeRozan might be interested in Knicks. Like the Knicks put out there, and everyone like saying that they want a star or nothing else. So this is where we are, which is absolutely crazy to even leak that stuff. Because how many stars are there? Like 5 in the league? You're not getting one of those. You're not getting one of those.
Yes, Craig. Thank you for the breaking news. I will speak about it now. The Knicks have applied to the NBA for a disabled player exception worth $7.8 million, as the franchise project center Mitchell Robinson will miss the rest of the season.
Wow. Oh, so that's he had that injury's not that's why Mitch was crying then. I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm saying when he was saying every time he takes a step forward, that injury was clearly more serious than what they revealed. Because if he's out for the year,
then you're talking about them looking for a center, and they're probably going to go to Detroit. That's why I talked about the Bogdanovich thing. I was joking, but I said now I can see a Bogdanovich Drummond deal somehow happening, which I would not like. But
Wiseman's running on the bench, and he's shown potential in flashes.
That's who I would want. Yes, that's the player I would want of the guys on their team. But I don't know if the Knicks would take him on unless they're comfortable with Hartenstein and then him backing up Hartenstein for now. But yeah, his talent level you take a chance. That's my opinion.
I hate saying this because I posted it on our fan page earlier today. I was tongue in cheek about it when they said that Sims went down. I said Taj is going to start be the starting center in a couple more weeks. Well, damn if I wasn't close. Damn well, Harden, we better bubble wrap Hardenstein because Taj is going to be starting at center. Don't get it twisted. Now that Mitch is completely out, Sims is out, you better bubble wrap iHeart. I'm just going to try to tell you because, man, Taj is running what they said 6 miles on the Brooklyn Bridge. I mean,
yeah, like this is. Yeah, that is terrible. That to me, he defensively he was the one player they couldn't lose, and now they've lost. If this is a true report, they lost him for the year. So
time for fresh tactics.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, you brought up Wiseman. Got something along those lines. Guys like that.
Green, who's still out there.
Call up Daryl Morey and start the Mo Bamba experiment.
Well, Mo Bamba has been on the Knicks fan radar.
No. Let's get Bol.
Bol. He's got game, man.
He does an interesting game. I like watching him. That's for sure.
He can play, man.
Thibodeau would break his knees. He'd be like, what's it?
All you'd see is like a pulsing vein on his forehead when he's on the floor.
He'd be like, "You're 7 feet. Why are you handling the ball? Why are you doing crossovers and crowd?" Oh man!
Trust the pass, accept the ball.
Seriously,
He Detroit has the MSG like Billy Ray Valentine. Oh, I got legs.
Billy Ray Valentine.
It was the Dukes. He was gone.
I can't
Detroit
believe you
has
dusted off that reference.
I can't either. That's
I'm crying over here.
Oh man, it was the Dukes. It was the Dukes. I'm trying to tell you, that's crazy. But I mean, we're in trouble. I mean, I'm just so laughing this up, but whoa, who are they? Well, the Drummond.
Like I said, Drummond in Chicago
does make sense now, but I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. Well, Drummond's in Chicago. Bogdanovich is in Detroit. Bagley is a guy we brought up in the past. He's a big guy. But I like the Wiseman move. If I'm with Joe there. That's why
the Wiseman would be a great move. It would be a great. Yeah. But what is Vucevic doing in Chicago? Is he a free agent or has he been re-signed? Because I know they got to be having a fire sale in Chicago.
No, I don't think he's re-signed.
I'm wondering if he's not that I think he's not a Thibodeau player either. He's very offensive oriented. He's not a great defender because Tibbs' whole thing is going to be about this supposed rim protection that I never really see. But
he can rebound.
Craig, if we get to Rosen, we might as well set up a couch with like soft drinks and tables in the paint because the whole team's going to be in the paint.
Yeah, no, it would take a balancing act. Wow. Yeah, that is bad news for the Knicks. I mean, we're playing really solid basketball right now.
Ho.
Well, I told you, he was praising the hoes before. So everybody gets love. Everybody gets love in Madison Square Garden now. But the guy there's a wrestler, the whole train. That's who we got the whole train, right?
Yes.
The Godfather. That's the whole train. This is where we are. This is not.
We could get him though.
We're talking about iHeart being the starter, but we bring this up, and this is like just bad news.
Yeah.
I like the Drummond. I like the Drummond idea. I think.
Which one you like, Eric? I'm sorry.
I said I like Drummond for not for like any kind of big trade, but if they could get him for a decent value, I would go that route.
He could still rebound, and that's one of the skills that goes last on a player.
Yep.
He can rebound with anybody.
He's from Mount Vernon.
He's only 30 years old. I mean, he's not. Yeah. We think he's that old. He's only 30. He's not that old.
See, this is everybody.
It seems like he's older, man.
See, you got to blame everybody. You got to blame Eric for this, people. Everybody who don't know, What was Eric saying in the thread earlier? Oh, here comes the Boogie Cousins rumors. And here we are.
I love these Boogie Cousins.
He's over in China now? China?
He would probably be pretty good, to be honest. As the backup, he would be a good
backup. The first 30'3" he took, Tim would lose his mind. Are you kidding me?
Before he tore his Achilles, he was nasty.
He was a
nasty player.
Yeah. I can see Tibbs having him in the Sergeant Slaughter Draymond Clover clutch right on the middle of the thing. The first 3 things, you're not supposed to be out there. This would be a barnyard burner in Madison Square Garden.
He plays for the Taiwan Beer Leopards.
Wow.
If that has anything to do with beer, he's not coming back. We know Cousins he's not the thinnest guy. I'm sure he likes to throw a few back. If he gets free beer as part of his contract, he's not coming back.
He would be an interesting. I mean, if he's really engaged, I think that he's pretty much blackballed out the league. But I'm just saying, I think that he would be good spot backup minutes. Oh yeah, he would be a good answer, and he's a good passer. He's not like this bad talent. He just got a bad reputation, unfortunately.
Oh, that sucks. That's some sad news.
Shout out to Mitchell Robinson, man. Get well soon, dude.
Yeah, seriously.
As he progresses, it's always been this thing where we find him having a great season and a great outing, and there's always this type of injury. Which give it to the medical staff on All Knicked Up here. Joe said it. He was talking about this for the longest time, that be prepared for the injuries.
Yeah,
happen with him, and that was the one thing you always said, that he's a great talent, but how long will it last? Because you predicted injuries will keep occurring, and here we are.
I'm happy it's the ankle and not the foot.
I like when I'm wrong, because it's usually good for the team when I'm wrong.
Yeah, like Willie Cauley-Stein, you were wrong.
Yeah, I was. Eric is never, ever, 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 ever going to let me live that down. It's like that one friend that you went to Vegas with, and he did all sorts of wacky shit that you have like on video and stuff like that. So you like owed his ass for the rest of his life. That's like me and Eric and the Willie Cauley-Stein thing.
That's so funny.
He's still there. He's still playing, though. He's on Houston, right? He's still around.
The Knicks do need us. As if we could afford to get shorter, we've gotten shorter now. Literally, like we have no height on the Knicks because Sims out, Mitch out. Now Taj has always been more of a power forward, just fighting at that center. But we are one of the shortest teams in the league.
Yeah.
We put a lot of heart and grit, but eventually that's going to come back. They got to make a trade. I don't think that you cannot not make a trade now.
Yeah, either that or Tibbs is going to have to coach differently, and we know what the possibilities of that are going to be.
Like, I never know.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a deal, man. That really does suck in a lot of ways.
It does.
They're gonna bring up who was that guy who was on the G League team, the white guy? They're gonna bring him up. I can't think of his name. He played in the summer league. He was not that bad.
No, I know you're talking about. The name is escaping me though.
He was European.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of his name. But you know what's going to happen. Josh, you're in at 5. Josh can handle that. He's in at 5. We're going to put Josh Harden at 5. He's an excellent.
You're probably right. His name is Dmitro Skapintsev, I think. That's how you say it. That's him. They're going to bring him in.
Dude, you get the book on the Euros. If you don't know his name, I don't know his name.
Well, he's on the Westchester Knicks.
That's all.
So it'd be an easy call-up.
I am interested in seeing what this next move has got to be, because the Knicks, their hands are forced right now. I mean, granted, they're winning, but we know this is not sustainable with that front court being that short. So Drummond would definitely be a great pickup. I don't know, what is he making? He's on some minimum contract?
He only makes about
He
6.
signed for peanuts. I know that. He signed a 2-year deal for peanuts. It was like 2 years at 6 or something like
Yeah.
that.
I
Something
don't think
crazy.
he's-
So that's just
Yeah, I don't think
literally
he's doing
one of our way down the. Well, we know it's not going to be Archie. Archie, he's staying forever. He's the new Chris Smith of the Knicks. He's not going anywhere.
Yo, this kid is 7'1". This Euro is 7'1". Plays in Westchester. Averages 6 points, a block. Only plays 18, 19 minutes. Shit, call him up. Why not? Why not?
Well,
I mean, in the short term, until you find who you want, you gotta have somebody.
Well, they probably call Jacob Toppin. He's probably going to be the one to play in the 5.
No, Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
You know,
you never know with this dude.
But the phone call's got to be to Detroit. I mean, we have their pick. That pick is more valuable to them than it is to us. Absolutely. Isaiah Stewart is somebody that eventually is going to have to move on. They have Duran. They have Wiseman.
That's a guy Tibbs would love. Stewart?
He would love
Stewart.
Stewart.
Is a guy Tibbs would love.
Isaiah Stewart, he's from Rochester, boy.
Yeah, he would love him.
He would love him.
He's off. So he's a
little crazy.
Too. He added a 3-point shot to his game. He actually can hit that.
But he's earthbound too. He doesn't jump. Tibbs would love him.
He would love that dude. That dude would run through a wall for him too. So he might, Detroit. I mean, you're right about that. They might not win 2 games in the next 4 years. The way at this rate that they're going.
Yeah.
Which is just the most. I don't even know how this is. You draft Cade Cunningham, and you can't win like 2 games all year.
Dude, Craig mentioned Jerome James. He's talking about big snacks.
That's a lot of snacks. I don't think the Garden got that many. He's going to be on the facial recognition just at the concession stand alone. So
I haven't thought about that in a long time.
Wow, I don't know. Wow, this is bad. This is not good.
It's a blow. It is a blow, and it blows. Yeah, man. Detroit is the biggest mystery to me. I do not understand how they're that bad, but that's their problem. We should call them and try and.
How did a good coach come in and make that team worse?
Amazing. I have no idea. And they are
loaded with coach. I mean,
and they're supposedly their brightest player. One of their brighter players is the Asura Thompson.
Yeah,
Thompson.
And they put him to the bench. So go figure out. This is not the year to be tanking. It's not like we got I can see if it was Cooper Flag draft.
No.
You're tanking for him.
No.
But this is not the draft that you would tank and lose all your damn games to. So you're either Monty Williams is a terrible coach right now, or your organization is just rotten from the bottom to the top because this is just bad. Cade Cunningham was number 1 pick. He was the dude. He's supposed to be the next Grant Hill and the next everything else. And
no, he's playing fine. He's not. He's doing okay.
Yeah, and then that's the problem. He's doing okay, and the rest of them are terrible. Something's Jalen Duran and so they got good players. It's not like
Ivy's
mad. He got benched.
He was excited to go there too.
Yeah, his mom his father, somebody.
He's got family ties.
Family ties to Detroit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but she's like, I wish my family was tied to New York. I think I'm not sure he wishes that now.
I mean, I'm looking at their stats right now, and they don't play defense, which is the reason why they give up so many damn points. Mm-hmm. That's why they're so bad. But I mean, Monty is known for being a good coach. I don't understand. No,
I know. I thought that, to tell you the truth, I thought that was going to be one of the turnaround stories of the season.
So did I.
I thought so too. And apparently, it's just bad over there.
It turned around, but the wrong way.
Stan McNally left some of his socks in there, and they just got stale. And
you're right, Ted. This isn't the year to tank.
No, this is a bad draft.
It is.
It's not a great draft.
Cooper Flag, you should be tanking all day long if you're a terrible team with Cooper Flag in 25.
It's a good thing we're going to have 2 picks probably in this draft.
Oh, yeah.
Sure, of course.
We'll win the lottery and draft Craig's favorite player, Bronny James.
Bronny James.
We are number 1 pick. The Knicks will go, number 1 pick. After all these years, and
What do you think the chances are of Craig getting a Bronny James jersey?
oh no, I don't know. There's gonna be a high percentage. That means Bron is coming to the Knicks. Craig's gonna have a get out the bar bags, Craig.
I mean, one of the top picks in the draft is a Australian basketball player.
Oh yeah,
We haven't had that since Andrew Bogut, and he played college basketball here.
Yeah,
So,
we're not.
This guy, Alex,
If Euro was the number one in Australia, then I mean, I should say a foreign player in Australia is the number one. Yeah, that's not going to be a good draft. Bogut was the dude. Have you heard anything ever since then? Too much. I mean, Simmons was technically. I was shocked the night I was watching the game, and that's like, and they panned to the bench. I'm like, damn, I forgot Ben Simmons was even still in the league. Like he's still.
He was playing well before whatever happened to him.
What's that?
He was playing well before.
Yeah, he's back injured again. I'm like, damn, this dude. That career just went different, so different.
Yeah,
I don't know, but prayers to you, Mitch Robinson, big dog. Get well soon.
I know, man. Wow, that was sad. The show was going so well until then.
So that was Craig. They're gonna break it in. Craig's like, oh,
y'all making me look.
I don't want Levine. I'm gonna give you this, and he dropped it. Dave Chappelle
makes me look at Twitter.
He sprinkled some crack on our stories and said, "Mitch is going." Damn, Mitch.
Oh man.
It's definitely. I mean, it's definitely a. You want to see all of our players as healthy as possible, and then seeing this guy. But it forces Tibbs' hand. Tibbs, we're going to find out what kind of coach Tibbs is because this is what we're talking about, being the ability to pivot. Like I think that there was too much reliance on. Like I love Mitch, so this is no slight, but he should not be that important to this team's success. A guy that does not score that many points should not be the pin or the linchpin for this team's success, and that's where there's a problem with how he coaches. Because a guy like Hartenstein should be not the biggest part of this team. Your main cog, either Jalen or Julius, RJ, we know sometimes off and on, but those should be the focus of your team and figure out from there and building out. So this antiquated idea of, we're going to rim protection. I need all this rim protection and all this other stuff. Look, dude, they only work against the Lakers because they want to get everything in the paint because they can't score on the outside. So now this is saying.
Maybe.
What are you going to do next? You got to change some things now.
Yeah, maybe guard the perimeter. Maybe try that first.
Imagine that.
Give it a shot.
What's important?
See what happens. In a 3-point shooting league, you might want to guard the 3-point shot.
You might want to guard. You might not want to hedge in the paint. Like Michael Jordan's still in the league and he's dominating in the paint.
Oh, guys, I don't want to get beat back-to-back by Milwaukee. And both games are at MSG, which is so strange.
Yeah.
But they're both at the Garden.
Oh, wow. We split that. I'll be happy.
Yeah, I want to win the Christmas one. We could lose Saturday. I want to win the one on Christmas.
I think they can be capable. I mean, if Julius plays like he's been playing, I think you've got a really good shot at giving them help because they're not the same team defensively. When Drew left,
Giannis and Lopez are good interior defenders.
That's what it is. And Lopez is an X factor. People sleep on him and how good of a player he is still. The Knicks, like I said, but this is a height requirement league, and they made the choice to make us shorter and less athletic, which I'll never understand that. But this is going to come back to bite us in the end when these teams who are as athletic, I would say the Toronto types, with length, it's going to be an issue now with Sims out there. It's not bad.
We just lost. Like I said, Robinson was the one decently athletic player that we had, and now we lost him. Sims is a good athlete. Yes, he's not sure how. I don't think he knows how to really play yet, but he's a good athlete, and he's out too. So this team is going to have to be perfect.
Perfect. Because you got to think about this. Even They said Sims is 1 to 2 weeks, but I'm not buying any. This is not.
They said Mitch was 2 months.
Every time we talk about the Knicks, we always talk about that one thing about when the reports come out about injuries, just don't even buy what they're telling you because it's worse than what they've told. And in this case, like Sims is out. He said 1 to 2 weeks. He's out for the rest of the year also. Watch, you're gonna go around like Jerkel Sims is no longer in the league. He decided to go home.
They traded him, yeah. They traded him to China.
Getting his leg amputated in the field like a Civil War vet.
Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna fight for my freedom. That's even if he talks. We don't even know if he talks. He's got the Kawhi Leonard stuff going on.
We just don't have another center on the roster, so they're gonna have to pick one up. They don't.
Yeah, they have nobody. It's like now it's like because you can't. If he rolls out Taj, man, he needs to be fired. He says, "Oh, Taj, you're splitting minutes at the 5." Taj is logging in 35 minutes.
I love Taj, man. I do.
I do. I like it. He's a professional.
He's from Brooklyn. He's a New York guy. His cool story about his dad, all that stuff, great. But man, no, I cannot rely on knowing that we're one injury away to Hartenstein from this guy being the only big man on the roster. Like I can't.
Tibbs gonna call Joe Kim.
He probably will.
Jesus, that would even be. Are you trying to really spoil Christmas? Are you the Grinch? Is this where we're going right now?
Minnesota, yeah, man.
What about Willie Hernan Gomez is available? We can bring him back.
He is available.
He can rebound, but it's going to be very interesting to watch because Taj technically should just be backing up Randle. He should just be the 4 backing up Randle, not a 5, because he can hit that outside 3-point shot. He can do some posting. That's who he should be replacing, and not the 5 position. So it's like now we have a bad front court. It's not hearing this news. It got bad for the Knicks. I mean, people don't believe
going to have to get every rebound.
Yeah. Luckily, we do have some guards that are tenacious on getting those rebounds, like Dante. I think he led the game tonight in rebounds. For the Knicks, or one of those games he did, I should say. Hart does it, but that's not going to be enough in this league. You're going to get muddled.
I'm going to share something real quick. And
all right.
We can close the show down, but I'm going to share something. Hold on. All right, so here's the centers available.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to scroll slowly, and you stop when you see a name that says, yeah, he'd work. Now, don't forget, Deng retired, so he doesn't count.
Is it coming up?
Oh, look.
Oh, he had to go Christmas. No.
There's the guy. There's the Nick. That's the one who's in the D League. You should just bring him up. Willie. See, there's Willie. Harold will be available, but not until February, probably. So Lebessier was on the Knicks already.
Yeah.
And now they're going to guards. I don't know why they have these guys listed as centers. So that's it, guys. That is the pickings we have out there. So unless they make a trade.
Yeah, a trade's got to happen now. I think they're going to be forced to go on the market to get someone. Hopefully it is Andre Drummond type that don't cost as much. I mean, I'm just wondering, who do you trade? I mean, somebody knows you're desperate now, as we talked about the desperation.
Yeah.
Now
if it costs 6 or 7 picks to get, or 5 picks to get Rudy Gobert, some team's gonna ask, well, why wouldn't you ask for 2 at least for a center when everyone knows you're desperate?
Yeah,
those barrel splinters are hard to get out, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough, man. They are.
Yeah, this is there. We gotta go.
Well, we're ending on a sour note, guys.
Yeah.
So
lemonade for everybody.
Everyone hit up Joe on Twitter. Joe, tell him your Twitter account.
Upstate Joe, AKU, for all Knicked Up. And
yes.
Craig, you made my night with the chat.
Yes, it was fun. He wasn't on with us, but he was on with us.
Yeah,
so
that.
That was perfect. Yeah, so guys, next week I think someone might be joining us. I'm not so sure, but we're working on it. So we'll see how that works out. But we're working on that specific part of the show. So we'll see how that happens. All right, Ty, tell them where they can find you.
Hit me up at Genius Scribble. I might be at your local bar after hearing about this Mitch thing, so be there. I won't be drinking. I'll just be the guy in the corner that's nodding my head. But the misery that we deal with. Also, check us out on the All Knicked Up fan page. Come engage with us. June 1, hey, bruh, hey. Much love. I told you, come on and show your Randle love. Or anybody else want to get on this smoke train? We all good here. Come holler at your boys. Happy holidays to everybody. We won't be seeing you before Christmas, obviously. So peace and blessings, even though we have 2 Grinches here, the dark Grinch here. But it's all good. But peace and love to everybody. Healthy holidays, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Can somebody gift us a center for Christmas? We don't ask too much Santa.
Does Patrick have anything left in those legs? Come on, Patrick.
Sweat a pool right in the middle of the floor. Somebody slips, can't get their layup. Really good.
I'll start making ice cubes in my freezer for his knees, like now.
Talk about a warrior, man.
There we go.
Oh, you got your
man, I got that so long ago. I still have it. Crazy. If you guys want to hit me up, you see all my information right there. Yes. So finally 33 is my personal account. At all_Nick_up is the show account. At straight_O_G is my podcast, which I just recorded today, my pop culture podcast that I do. Yeah, I'll be posting that up tomorrow. So if you guys are interested, you can check it out. It's a good show. We talk about the Jonathan Major situation with Marvel and what's going on with the aftermath of all that. So you can check that out. And if you're interested in that stuff, we talk about Merry Little Batman, by the way. If you guys haven't seen it, if you have kids, watch Merry Little Batman. It's on Amazon Prime. It's a cartoon show. It's very, very cute with a lot of references to different things that have to do with Christmas. It's a very cute little Batman movie. So guys, check that out. We talk about that and everything else going on. Aquaman 2, all that stuff going on. We talk about that on this show. So I'll be posting it tomorrow. Check that out for us. Again, we are here every week, every Wednesday night, either before or after the Knick game. We actually talked about going on before the game tonight and leading into the game. So maybe in the future we'll kick something like that around and do it. Try and do a little pregame show. But yes, as Ty mentioned, and I want to wish everyone out there who follows us, takes the time to follow us here, watch the show live, watch it the next day, interact with us in the group or on Twitter, interact with me on Twitter. I want to definitely wish all of you guys a very happy holiday season. Like I said before, whatever you celebrate, it's a time of year to spend with your friends and family and really appreciate what you have in life. Whatever it is, don't get all caught up, like we talked about before. Don't get all caught up in the commercialism of it. Just be around the ones you love and really enjoy the holiday season. And again, as always, we appreciate the support. We have fun doing this. This is a lot of fun for us. So we appreciate the love you guys show us. So please continue it. Let us know if you hit us up if you have any suggestions. Let us know, and we will happily try to accommodate you. If there's something we like and you guys throw at us, we'll do it. But we have some potential with this show, I think, going forward. So I just kind of want to going into the new year, I have goals for this show. So we're gonna have to we're gonna reach them.
Yes, sir.
A couple of ideas are working. So, all right, guys. So if that's it for Joe and Ty, I'm Eric. You're watching All Knicked Up. Merry Christmas. We'll see you next week.